Executive Summary. Urban flooding in India represents a systemic failure of governance, exacerbated by rapid urbanization, climate change, and entrenched corruption. The 2025 Gurugram floods, which claimed 8 lives and caused widespread disruption, underscore this crisis. Despite substantial investments, such as the Municipal Corporation of Gurgaon's (MCG)'s 503 crore spent on drainage over 9 years, persistent waterlogging reveals inefficiencies rooted in corruption and lack of accountability. This policy paper analyzes the role of corruption in undermining urban planning, highlights accountability deficits, and proposes solutions drawn from audits, expert opinions, and global best practices. Key recommendations include strengthening anti-corruption mechanisms, enhancing institutional accountability through performance audits, and implementing sustainable infrastructure reforms. Urgent action is needed to prevent recurring disasters and ensure equitable urban development. Urban flooding in India isn't just an act of nature. It's a crisis rooted in corruption, broken systems, and a lack of accountability. The recent Gurugram floods of July 2025 are a glaring example. Impacts were severe. Residents in upscale areas like DLF Camellias, where homes cost Rs 100 crore, found their properties flooded, with furniture floating in murky water and sewage invading homes. A viral video by resident Sanchi Arora captured the disbelief. "What happened last night has left me completely shattered." Neighborhoods such as Palam Bihar and Sushant Lok were inundated, with basements submerged and traffic jams lasting hours on key routes like the Delhi-Jaipur highway. Over 222 vehicles broke down, and authorities advised work from home to mitigate chaos. Imagine this: 133 millimeters of rain in just 90 minutes. 8 people lost their lives. Roads turned to rivers, traffic froze, and even the most expensive homes, worth hundreds of crores, were underwater. But let's be clear, Gurugram's disaster isn't unique. Cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and Bengaluru face the same nightmare every monsoon. Nationally, similar patterns emerge. In Delhi, only half the city is covered by a 2,064 km stormwater drain network unfit for 38 million people. Mumbai's 1,860 era system fails its 22 million residents, while Bengaluru has lost 90% of its lakes to development. Encroachment on floodplains and wetlands has reduced urban open spaces by 30% since 2000, amplifying flood risks. Social media reactions to Gurugram's floods echoed frustration. "We have created unaccountable monsters," with users blaming BJP governance for zero accountability. And the question is, with so much money being poured into urban infrastructure, like the Rs 503 crore spent on Gurugram's drainage over the last 9 years, why are things only getting worse? First, the causes. Outdated drainage, unchecked construction on wetlands, unplanned real estate expansion, and poor maintenance. It's a cocktail for chaos. Gurugram's so-called Millennium City saw luxury homes flooded, cars stranded, and live wires exposed. A software engineer died from electrocution, 3 teenagers drowned in a forgotten mining pit. Accountability deficits in urban planning and management. Accountability remains elusive in India's urban governance, with fragmented institutions, weak enforcement, and political interference. In Gurugram, multiple agencies, MCG, GMDA, and private discoms, shift blame, as evidenced by post-flood finger-pointing. Frequent transfers of officials disrupt continuity, stalling projects. Nationally, audits like those by the Comptroller and Auditor General, KG, reveal systemic lapses, but implementation is poor. The CAG's performance audit on stormwater drainage in Odisha, while details are limited, assessed planning efficiency and recommended improvements in citizen engagement and internal controls. Insights applicable to Gurugram. Ex-users demanded accountability from Haryana's CM, highlighting miserable governance. Deficits include lack of transparent tendering, absent performance metrics, and minimal citizen oversight, allowing negligence to persist. And this isn't just about bad weather. It's about corruption. When Rs 503 crore can't buy a working drainage system, you know something's wrong. Residents called the city authorities hopelessly inept. Contracts for cleaning drains often go unmonitored. Sometimes the contractors just vanish mid-project. Nationally, the story repeats. In Mumbai, 60% of desilting contracts went to ghost companies. Bengaluru's wetlands are built over for profit with government officials looking the other way. Projects like Namami Gange have seen crores vanish while the sewage keeps flowing. It's a deadly nexus. Bureaucrats, builders and politicians putting greed over public good. And who suffers the most? Ordinary people. The poor lose homes, the middle class lose property, and everyone loses trust. Accountability is almost non-existent. Multiple agencies pass the blame. Frequent transfers of officials mean nobody sticks around long enough to fix things. Even when audits expose failures, nothing really changes. So what can be done? Role of corruption in exacerbating urban floods. Corruption is a pivotal enabler of urban flooding, diverting funds, enabling illegal encroachments, and undermining regulatory enforcement. In Gurugram, residents accused MCG of being hopelessly inept or siphoning off funds, as Rs 503 crore spent on drains since 2016 failed to prevent flooding. Contracts for desilting and construction often go unmonitored, with delays like a half-completed sump in Sushant Lock, where the contractor absconded. Solutions and recommendations. Addressing urban flooding requires a multi-pronged approach targeting corruption, accountability, and infrastructure. Drawing from CAG insights, expert views, and global models, the following recommendations are proposed. 1. Anti-corruption measures. 2. Enhancing accountability. 3. Infrastructure and planning reforms. 2nd, build accountability. Annual performance audits should be public. Let citizens see where projects stand. Set up citizen oversight committees. Mumbai's Freshwater Watch app is a great example. Officials should be promoted based on results, not who they know. And stop transferring key staff during the monsoon. Let them see projects through. Finally, fix the infrastructure. Upgrade drainage systems, separate stormwater from sewage and restore natural lakes and wetlands. Learn from global best practices. Tokyo's underground reservoirs, Singapore's green roofs. Enforce strict zoning so that nobody builds on rivers or floodplains. If these steps are followed, cities could see a 50% drop in siphoned funds, a 40% cut in flood incidents, and real transparency in governance. Start with pilot cities, like Gurugram, and back reforms with central funding. But here's the truth. None of this will matter unless citizens like you demand change. Urban flooding isn't inevitable. It's the result of choices, and with enough pressure we can force better ones. Let's break the cycle of corruption and carelessness. Demand accountability. Push for sustainable solutions. And help build the resilient cities India desperately needs before the next disaster hits. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more deep dives on urgent issues, follow Accountable India. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay safe and stay informed.